Hello, everyone. I'm Agan, like Mark said. My major is architecture, but my minor is also leadership and social change. So I was required to do the e-portfolio for graduation, and I had used Scholar my sophomore year, which was like 1,000 years ago. And it was the first year that they had Scholar, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted. So for my e-portfolio, I wanted it to be used as a professional showcase of my architecture work, and then also as an outlet for my leadership studies and the reflections on those studies over the past few years. So first and foremost, I chose Wix because they have an unlimited amount of picture uploads, so I could put in as many pictures of my projects as I wanted. And I found the Flash website just to be a little bit easier to navigate versus some of the other ones. So just a little bit about me. I like being outside, and I like photography and everything, food and cooking. And my resume here showcases my leadership curriculum, my architectural curriculum that's influenced my work, and a few other things. And then so through leadership, we were required to make a personal profile. And as I was kind of writing this, I realized that when I talk about leadership, a lot of times I talk about architecture and vice versa. I believe that as a leader, we are kind of stewards to our environment, and that really kind of affects the way I design, especially through my thesis project, which I will be defending tomorrow. So, my personal profile has my leadership philosophy. The three basics of leadership, I believe, are character, contribution, and community. So, focusing on yourself. The next level of scale up, focusing on your group and the people that you work with, and then again your community and being a steward to your environment. And then also my Myers-Briggs survey, just a little bit about kind of how I work and how I get along with people. So and I think that's kind of good information for an employer to have also. I know my mom told me that she was asked for stuff like this back in the 70s too, so I think it's still relevant. Just a couple key events that influenced me, my leadership style, the first one being through my sorority. I was the special events coordinator, and teaching girls how to do dances that I've never danced before is an interesting position to be put in, to really understand how to read people and find out how you get along in those situations also. Second key event and third key event both have to do with my leadership studies. And then my coursework to go along with my resume has just the different information about all the leadership classes I took for the minor. And I think the most influential class that I took for my minor, outside of being a student teaching assistant, which in and of itself was a leadership position that had a lot of learning going on, but my global environmental issues class really kind of connected leadership and studying about the environment, and then also relating that back to my architecture. In the fall semester, I wrote a research paper about refrigeration emissions, which is so interesting. But it kind of got me to where I am with my thesis today, which I will get to in a little bit. The other aspect of the leadership minor that was really important was understanding the social change model, and Karen touched on that a little bit. But I chose to discuss the 7 social change values through one of my projects at Virginia Tech through architecture, which was the Design Build Lab. As students, we were charged with a design and the construction of a farmer's market for the city of Covington, Virginia, which is showcased under my portfolio that I'll get to in a minute also. But just understanding the nature of a service-based architecture project in and of itself is a relatively new idea, so I knew it would be really key to write about it. So just to touch on the requirements, it had to be a ground-up construction, had to be completed for a functioning organization, so we did that for the city of Covington. And the project must impact a broad section of the community, and this is written in the Design Build Lab bylaws. Every project they do every year has to influence the community in some way, shape, or form. So like last year they did an amphitheater in the same area. And again, the primary goal of the student is education. And this is really important because as we were working as a team and as we had these deadlines of an actual physical building, we still had to understand how to work with each other and how working in an architecture environment in the real world would actually happen. So just to go through a couple pictures, this is the page on the Design Build Lab that I've used for my portfolio to show firms in interviews, and a couple pictures of the market after it was built. We started the project in September and did the design phase all the way up through February. And then once we got to February, we started taking daily and weekend trips up to Covington, which is about an hour and a half drive. And we prefabricated each of the sections in 10-foot modules off campus and then shipped them up to Covington. We actually spent a good portion of our budget on the concrete foundation and the transportation, so we had to kind of finagle our way into creating these modules and pieces, kind of like the way we had to figure out how to work with each other. And architects are known for not being the most personable and understanding people ever, so that was also quite interesting, but it turned out really, really well. We actually stayed in Covington an extra 2 weeks after school got out and worked every day for 2 weeks until it was finished. So, and then we had the first day of the market opening, which was, it was pretty great. It was fun. And then so finally, my undergraduate thesis, which I'll be defending tomorrow. If anyone wants to stop by Kogo Lobby, I'll be there.
What time?
8 to 5, so all day. The purpose of the thesis is to explore an idea through architecture. So I decided to look at interaction and how interacting with people, places, and environments can influence you. So I decided to redesign the grocery store as also kind of a hat tip to my global environmental issues class. It's really centered on understanding how a grocery store works, how a consumer wants to have the ease and access of a grocery store while still being benefited by good food and good community. So I decided to open everything up and have a green space in the middle, and each little area is based on the size requirements of each vendor so as to minimize infrastructure. So that's just a little bit about that. I also have a page with external links to the Design Build Lab page, my study abroad compilation of works that we did, my professional experience internships that I had for, 2 summers, and different pages about the leadership minor as well. So I guess my e-portfolio is kind of a random compilation of everything that I've done here at Virginia Tech, but I think it shows the range of personality that I have and the range of talents that I have in a way that can be advertised professionally as well as to friends, and then again as an example hopefully to people that want to create something that represents them online without it being Facebook or Twitter or something like that. So that's about all. I guess if you have questions, I'm always on campus. I'd be more than happy to answer them too. So.
Thanks, Jen.